Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome to a first look video for Aircraft Carrier Survival, a brand new strategy game just released from Gambit Games and Creative Forge. Now, I took the time to go through and play the tutorial. By the way, I strongly recommend, if you decide to pick this game up, that you do play the tutorial because it is a complex strategy game. I'm impressed by the amount of detail here within for this game. I don't want to waste too much time. I want to show you that detail here soon enough. But like I said, I do recommend that you go through the tutorial before you get into the game due to the complexity of it. Now, there is a campaign mode. If you would like to see that campaign mode here on the channel, now is a great time to drop below, click that like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment. In particular, leave a comment that shows that you would like to see a Let's Play series for this one so that we can get into the campaign. But there's also a sandbox mode, and for this first look, I will be jumping into the sandbox mode. Now, this is a World War II Pacific theater strategy game based around a aircraft carrier fleet. You have an American aircraft carrier. We are playing in this one as the USS Portland. Now, after concluding the tutorial, due to the complexity, I still went further yet. I got into the game a little bit more. I've gone through one complete mission with the pitfalls, the dangers, and the successes that came from that as I figured out the ins and outs of the game even further. I've already played 4 hours, and I still feel just starting to come to terms with it. Now, of course, 4 hours of this is a lot different than 1,000 hours of Europa Universalis 4 that you need for a deep grand strategy game. But 4 hours, I'm starting to feel fairly confident. Now, of course, half of that was the tutorial, and the follow-up there since. I'm starting to feel pretty good, like I've come to terms. I would eventually want to probably restart because I had to spend a whole lot of points rebuilding parts to my fleet that took a bit of a hit. So we are back in Pearl Harbor. We are at port, and we are setting ourselves up to head out once again. Now, I've already retooled. You have command points in this sandbox mode that you need to recruit the personnel, the vehicles, the escorts that you have with your aircraft carrier. So looking at that, let's start there. We have a Saipan Type 2. What this does is it gives you defensive set of units that you can put up into the air to defend against incoming attack. But it also gives you base defense for your escort and your carrier, +1. We'll get into what all that means as we play. Sangamon is escort defense +2, and then our other escort vehicle gives us radar range of +50, so that's some submarines. The other ones that I took into my previous are all being repaired before I can take them out with us again later, so they are going to be in port for a while yet. You have upgrades that are available, and that's your second unit here. That's your upgrade points. I've used what upgrade points I have heading out into this mission, but 2 upgrade points would give us an additional fleet vehicle to bring with us. Looking at the crew that we have both officers and specific crew. Now you have what you can see here, this is more like squads. So what you have in your crew is a unit. This is representing a group of sailors. All of our sailors are still novice. They are all still beginners. None of them have leveled up yet. The commander of our fleet is my personal character, and we are definitely stronger than our additional officers, but I spent upgrade points that we got on upgrading the officers. They are still technically level 1, but they've had the first equivalent of an upgrade. You can also get, through upgrade points, additional officers. We have 2 at this stage. And what would an aircraft carrier be without a bunch of aircraft on board? And we have a capability of holding 24 planes. I had to re-add some after the first mission to get us back to full, but we have 8 fighters, 8 dive bombers, and 8 torpedoes. Torpedo bombers, that is. And I've put a couple of upgrades already into the carrier itself. I have increased radar range. I have an increase to the anti-aircraft station. The third one behind me there is increase of hangar capacity, meaning your hangar can hold additional planes beyond the 24, adding 3 for each upgrade. I have not done any upgrades to that one. But without further ado, let's head out on our what will be my second mission. All right, so we are in port at Pearl Harbor. All right, I think I'm going to start with this next mission here. We have no official information that accounts for the increased maritime activity we have detected in this area. You are being ordered to determine whether or not this represents hostile activity and to patrol the area until you get instructions to return to base. If you encounter enemy opposition, engage the attackers as necessary. Objectives. Based on recent reports, Japan has deployed ships somewhere near this region, most likely to eavesdrop on our communications. We cannot afford even the smallest breach of confidential information. Locate and eliminate the vessels. The rewards: 10 XP for my character, which is still level 1 after picking up, I think, the equivalent. I got about 10 XP for the first mission. 2 upgrade points and 3 command points. All right, so there is no actual pause here when you are going in. It's going to stay active. You can speed time up, but time is going to continue on. So we need to get kind of straight into things, and then I'll explain things as we go. This is not the main mission. The main mission is not available until the 27th of December. It's only the 18th. So we've picked up an easy optional mission in the meantime while we wait for the main mission. So this is our aircraft carrier. These are the rooms below deck. Here is the island where the officers do their work and set us up. And then you have a free camera, and that's one of our escort ships. Behind me are the 3 officers, myself on top. I have a 3-3 rating for air and sea, and then I have 2 naval officers that have 1 each, 1 for sea and 1 of them for air, but neither of them having dual. We have 98% fuel / supplies. We need to resupply it sometimes. And then we have 8 squadrons of planes. We have new enemy has been found. So let's get into our screen. So this is our fleet here, and we've already spotted. It's only 1 ship. Okay, this is good. We don't know what it is, though. We need to identify it. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up a mission to go identify targets. For that, we need dive bombers to go do scouting. So let's get some dive bombers up on the deck. While that's happening, they're going to pull out 3 planes, put them up on the deck. We need to get ourselves moving. Now they are moving right to left here. We have a little bit of islands. I think we want to kind of come in behind them. So we're going to go this way for now. And dead slow. Let's go just slow. We don't need to go fast here. You need to assign additional crew for something like that. Let's get into the island, and we are going to assign. You can see each one of these rooms have 3 different assignments that can happen, and these are our 2 junior officers. We want to assign identify targets mission, so we're going to get him down into that room, and then we're going to change to identify targets as the mission. Now that's added it down here, so we're going to prepare an identify targets mission. They are going right to left, so I'm going to aim a little bit left ahead of them just in case. I don't know how fast they're moving. And now it's an active mission, but it's not yet launched. I need to launch that. We have 4 hours to do so, otherwise you lose that mission. And you can see there's some crew down there pushing the planes forward to the runway. So that's like your assembly area. And then here is the takeoff runway. This is the landing runway. And there's the planes into the sky. Now it's 8:30 in the evening, so we're not going to have a very big window here to get things done. We want to destroy the enemy fleet without being detected. Stay undetected. That's the objective on this one. That's going to be the tricky part here. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get something before it's too late. We might have to launch something in the morning. You cannot do operations at night, or at least not into the night. Now we should know fairly quickly what's going on here. Meanwhile, there's also something unidentified up here. Could be something as simple as a fishing vessel or a pod of whales. We should know fairly soon what they're up to.
Sir, a member of your staff requires urgent medical aid. Have a DC team transport him to the infirmary. Sir,
awaiting orders.
A member of your staff requires urgent medical aid. Have a DC team transport him to the infirmary.
Somebody got hurt. Okay, this is your damage control. Right now I have 2 crews assigned to it. One set to putting out fires. And actually I'm going to change their assignment to engineering. And then this one looks like he's already finished his task
On your
of
command.
attending to the injured person. So we're going to set him to water. There's actually 2 bonuses that you can get for deflooding. The other bonus you can get is if you have crew assigned, let's see, where is it? Here we go, to maintenance. And that'll help prevent bad things from happening, random bad things like what we just had. Ooh, another random. I have to keep an eye out on that one. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and change my trajectory. I don't want to get into visible range before it's too late. I might want to throw up a recon mission. I'm going to need 2 dive bombers for a recon mission. So let's get back up. Not to the deck management. Back to the deck. There you go. And let's get 2 more dive bombers. If I can get them airborne before dark, we can at least plan accordingly. Let's go ahead and prepare it now. I want to see a ways ahead. We're going to go this way. Alright, so we figured it out. It's only a single ship. It's an escort carrier. That's usually something you can deal with fairly easily. We need to launch this recon mission before it gets too dark, though. Otherwise, we will not be able to do something until the morning. I think 10 o'clock is where we end, which is awfully late into the day anyway. It's fairly dark, but that's where it gets really dark. Yeah, there you go. Or is it moonlit enough to operate at night? I guess we'll find out shortly. Nope, can't launch anything at night. Good thing we've already launched them beforehand. We issued the orders early enough. Okay, so we've identified the targets, but they are not going to be back for a while as they got to the site, radioed back to us. So while that one's getting airborne, so we can figure out what this is about. Meanwhile, this is what we know about that. Highly defensive, 58 to 70 is their shield range, meaning it's going to take at least 58 attack damage to have any chance of destroying it. 70 or more will guarantee destroying that ship. Attack-wise, though, meaning its defenses, is just 17 to 19. So if I have 19 or more defense on my attacks, we won't get destroyed. That's that 58 to 70. That's pretty defensive. That's going to take a bit to destroy. All right, now that we have everything airborne, we have our recon mission heading out. We'll know information about that soon enough. But the identified targets, we need to prepare for that to come back. So our deck right now is set up to launch. We need to set it up for recovery, for ships returning. So we've already swapped that. There's no planes up on the deck at the moment, so that actually was a pretty easy task. We're still well supplied. Our defense, we'll take a moment to look at some of the other things here now that we're not in a pause kind of mode, or unable to pause and not worrying about things for a little bit. This is our defense composition. You have your defensive position, the island bonus, as in there's a bonus that you could set in one of the rooms of the island. Anti-aircraft department. Let's go ahead and take a look at the crew to see that. Here is our anti-aircraft department. Now, I have upgraded this one once. You don't have to assign crew anywhere, but this is how many crew we have. This crew that we have, these 8 units, can be distributed differently throughout the aircraft carrier. Right now, we have 3 assigned to the air department. Those 3 allow us to have additional planes on the flight deck. Alright, let's see. Pod of whales, okay. There you go. So what we saw there, what the sonar picked up, was a pod of whales. And so this ended up being nothing. We're not worried about it. Looks like we have picked up some additional things on sonar. This, of course, is the main target, and as we continue to move this way, I think we're fine. I think we can go actually back to our original heading. We'll set that as a waypoint. Continue on that way once we eventually get up there. So here's what the crew is going to impact. Navigation department. I have 1 crew member assigned there. That allows me to go between dead slow. That gives me range to go slow. To get half or full speed ahead, we need additional crew assigned there. The basic impact of what you're getting out of these, damage control. We're going to get 1 damage control automatically, but to get additional damage control, that's that crew member being assigned there. Each assigned unit here protects 1 slot in another department, keeping them active when their sections are damaged. Higher efficiency reduces squadrons' repair times. So the main thing here is reducing squadrons' repair times. So actually that's a pretty useful one that I haven't utilized yet at times. If you have multiple damaged air units, squadrons, this will repair them quickly. Medical department here. And then the anti-air. The anti-air is for that defense. If we come under attack and they have incoming air units and we want to deal with that, your defense needs to be higher than the attack coming in. Simple stuff, but it's a matter of bringing that number up, because for us at the moment it's only 3, which means we could take some pretty heavy damage if we were attacked as things stand. Your escorts, the Saipan, that gives you a bonus, but it lasts for 6 hours, but it's got to cool down for 6 hours before you can use it again. And that's one thing we got to be careful of. So we don't want to use that until the time's right. Speaking of time being right, these guys are almost back, and I'm going to start to speed things up a little bit as we approach midnight. All right, that's 1 back. The other will be back in a few hours. That'll still be morning. Now we are going to prepare an airstrike, but we're going to do it shortly before dawn. If you do it too early, you're SOL and you can't do anything. So even though we're at 80%, I'm going to use the early morning hours here to go ahead and resupply. I'm going to assign myself to that one, to assign an officer to these missions. So these are orders that you can give, and this is what we have available. So we have radar, and it requires 2 sea and 1 air in terms of officer support. So I have a 3-3 rating, so I can do most of these missions. There is 2 missions that I cannot do alone: plane fuel management or deck control. So these 2 I would need additional support. All right, you can see right now we are refueling. It's not done yet. It takes an hour to complete. When it's complete, we will be done with that task and we'll be back up to 100%. So you can see we have a minor malfunction within the ship, and our maintenance crew right on top of it, taking care of it. All right, we still have about an hour and a half until dawn, but what I would like to do now is prepare. prepare the airstrike. So it's already an option for us based on what's going on here. And what I want to do is get an idea of what it's going to take. So obviously we're going to set the waypoint being the escort carrier. And clicking on this one does something a little bit differently. This one brings up a tactical screen, and it uses a card-based system. The cards depend on your officers and you yourself on what kind of options you have. But then the enemy fleet is also going to have its own range, its own option. So this escort carrier looks like the overall D, right? The 58 to 70, and then that 17-19 on the attack. The attack of maneuver number 5. So this is maneuver number 5. The attack for maneuver number 5 is going to be minus 25%. That's the impact. So I don't want to put an attack card on number 5, and then I avoid that problem. I only have 4 attack cards anyway. So that seems easy enough. And let's see what these attack cards do. Now this first one behind me is attack and defense of maneuver number 5 is plus 125%. But that's defense as well. So a defensive card on number 5 would be a decent option. And it has an attack of 11, defense of 3. So it's the highest attack card I have. Now this second one, fixed target here, is 7 and 5 on the attack and defense. The attack of this maneuver is plus 5 if maneuver number 3 is supportive. So I would need number 3 to be a support card. I'm going to go ahead and go through, pick these out, and I'll let you see what I've come up with here as a strategy in the end. All right, so here's the tactical plan that I've come up with. Torpedo run in the first slot is defense of all previous maneuvers is plus 25%. There's nothing previous as it's number 1 on the list. However, attack of all following maneuvers have plus 25%. So number 2 through 5 all have a 25% bonus to attack. Now what we see about this escort carrier is its attack, as in its defense against us, is weak, but it's going to take a lot to destroy it. So we need a high attack with only a certain amount of defense to get the job done. So putting that at the beginning gives us a big boost to our attack. Our next card, attack of this maneuver, is plus 5 if maneuver number 3 is support. So I made a support one for number 3, which is giving it a plus 5. Plus it's getting that 25% bonus. So we're getting 20 attack out of that one. Attack of maneuvers 1 and 2 is plus 4. So there's another plus 4 to each of those two. This one, attack and defense of maneuver 5 is plus 125%. That's a huge boost. Plus it's getting that boost from number 1. And then the last one, which is a defensive one, is the attack of maneuvers 1 and 5 get plus 75%. So this one, even though it's got the decrease here of 25% coming from the escort carrier, with the other bonuses is enough to still make it pretty good. And it's giving us enough defense. So when you add all of that up, what we have is a 76 attack, 36 defense. So we're countering their attack easily. 36 is a lot higher than the 19. And the 76 gives us just enough. And here's the expected outcome. This strategy ensures the safety of your pilots. All of the dispatch squadrons will return from the attack, meaning we have overwhelming majority. Also, the strategy ensures the total destruction of the opposing forces. If we had a 60, then we would have a chance at destroying the target. All right, in order to send out the airstrike, it needs to be daytime. We have about half an hour to go, but we also need to get out the rest of the ships that we need. And we also need to switch this to launching. So we need 1 fighter and 3 torpedo bombers to add. Alright, so we are ready to launch mission here. And they are beginning to take off. It's going to take a while with that many units to get airborne. But they are heading off. Now, there's two things that are going to have to happen here. One, I need to go faster than we are going presently, because I need to stay close enough for the group to return. I've already changed our pattern from here to now here, but I need to go even faster than what we're doing presently. So I'm gonna go ahead and change our order and go this way a little bit more, and then I need to reassign at least one crew member and put them in the navigation department so we can go a little bit faster. Once they arrive there, we'll be able to go half speed, stay close enough for the planes to be able to have enough time to return after their mission. I should have put my commander on a mission for plane fuel management. Would have been a better option, but it's okay. We'll be okay. There you go. See, now we're going half speed. Alright, so when you have these tactical missions, these airstrikes in particular, you're going to get feedback like this. It's going to go straight into results. We can simply confirm that this ship has been destroyed and that we have taken no losses. Or you can watch a video of it. Looks like our torpedo bomber took him out. And there you go. That is mission complete. This was an optional mission, but this is what we've obtained. We picked up the renown points. That's your renown right there. So as this fills up, we will hit level 2. We picked up a few command points. We also picked up a couple command awards. This is what I used to upgrade our officers last time. You can likewise assign that to your crew and help them level up. So you pick up. And it looks like we get to do that right here on deck by awarding medals. I've already awarded medals to my 2 officers previously. I'm going to go ahead and pick some crew this time. You can see how by doing this, we're getting specialization for this crew member. I'm going to go ahead and get him assigned to anti-aircraft. Alright, there you go. There's a quick first look at aircraft carrier survival. This thing has deep tactics, and you can have battles with another fleet that last days. I've already experienced that. It could go on and on, back and forth. This one was pretty straightforward, where we had the significant advantage. They were out on a simple scouting mission. We caught them, and we destroyed them before they ever even knew we were there. They only found out in those dying moments, right before the planes hit them, before the torpedo hit them, and that was that. That was an easy mission. Other missions are much harder than this one. This is a fun game. I'm going to be playing this plenty on my own. We still have 8 days till that next mission. There's repairs, so there's lots of options on what we can do in the meantime. There's another easy mission there. That's probably the direction we would want to head at this point, as we're just getting started until we have a few upgrades under our belt, and until I'm really comfortable with the game. That's kind of the smart option. That's going to do it for this one. If you liked what you saw here, do click that like button. Also subscribe, and if you want to see a let's play with this game, with the campaign, please comment about that below. I'm Decathlon Gamer. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.